Marriage and family are not necessary in a world without God. Hi, I'm Barak Lurie, and I want to talk to you about how godlessness actually destroys family. Let's take the notion of whether or not there is a need for a husband altogether. What we're seeing now more and more is this quest for mothers to go on their own with their own child through a sperm bank or otherwise, but nevertheless to not have a father or a husband in the picture. The theory is that they've got a family and it doesn't have to be with a father. In fact, fathers are unnecessary. Husbands are unnecessary. There's a problem though. We know that fathers are very critical in society. It's critical for civilization altogether, not just biologically, but also to raise children. Fathers tend to give much more of the big picture to kids, to talk to them about values, about America and patriotism and God for that matter. These are very big items that are simply being relinquished for the sake of convenience, mostly from women who want to just have the baby and to appeal to their instinct to have babies, but without regard, or better yet, even pretending that they don't need a father altogether. This is dangerous territory. We know that the family is the bedrock of civilization. And now with the threats of climate change and other arguments regarding sustainability, people are being told that to get married and have children is only contributing to a horrific end of this planet of ours. You see, this is the way of the atheist mindset. You'll see that among the people that eschew marriage, eschew children, desire not to have it whatsoever, they tend to be godless. My guess is that if you see a family that has 3 or more children, chances are that they have some degree of God in their lives. This is a very important distinction. Marriage and family are not necessary in a world without God. And this is the mindset of so many people now when they decide to have children on their own, whether it's a father or a mother. They just don't see the necessity. But out there in the world of the religious, they understand. It's important to have a mother and a father. Now, another aspect I want to talk about is polyamory, which means that one loves many different people, and very often might be a group of 3, 4, 5, or even more people that decide to get together in an amorous relationship among and between them all, and they have that kind of relationship. That's it. They're married to each other in a sense without being married. Here's the logic behind it. Things are so expensive. Little Johnny, well, we can't afford to send him to college with only 2 incomes. How much better might it be if we had 3 incomes, 4 incomes? There's so many benefits, seemingly, to having multiple parents for Johnny as opposed to just 2. That's polyamory. You'll see it much more in the coming decades. Here's the problem. Such an arrangement, if everyone were to do it, would mean the collapse of civilization. There simply can't be the raising of little Johnny in an effective way when you have more than just the mom and dad involved. It's nice to have many people who care about Johnny, absolutely. But Johnny will never have the same kind of attention and love that he can get with just one mom and just one dad, and preferably that they are married, together, and loving with each other. It's simply the way. But in a godless world, we are taught that somehow anything goes. But there's a reason why the Bible tells us that the family unit is critical. The family is what makes civilization in the first place. Anyway, I just commend you strongly to this book, Atheism Destroys. You'll see how it destroys so many of the values we have in our civilization and that we take for granted. We'll get into the other aspects of how relationships are dying themselves because of godlessness. And yes, even sex itself. Atheism Destroys, go check it out on Amazon.com. It's available in hardcover, softcover, and Kindle. I'm Barak Lurie. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk with you next week.